All right, wearing my new Route 56 t-shirt mask. I'm dressed up for cold weather because here in Chicago today, April 9th, it's turned unseasonably cold again. Just put the mask on because I'm about to take Roger out for his afternoon walk. And after that, we'll probably walk on over and take a look to see how far along that bridge reconstruction demolition is going so far on Jackson Boulevard, eastbound Route 56. So taking my 66 mask out to Route 56.
In the spring 2020 issue of Route 66 magazine, I have an article that discusses the ongoing project in Chicago to rebuild and improve the Jane Byrne interchange. That's the spaghetti bowl of ramps where I-90, 94, and 290 all come together. This project began in 2013, and now it is impacting the Route 66 bridges over the interstate. Both east and westbound 66 bridges will be demolished and replaced, and the eastbound Jackson Boulevard was closed on March 27th. The purpose of replacing the bridges is in part to remove the on-ramps from both bridges that currently deposit traffic joining northbound I-90-94 via the median. In 1949, when plans were first announced to cut a swath through Chicago's west side near downtown to make way for the expressway, the original concept called for a much wider area to allow for normally configured ramps along the outer edges of the highway. But when the plans for what was then called the Northwest Expressway were unveiled in the 1940s and they intended to use a 500-foot wide footprint, many affected property owners, many of whom were politically connected, started to scream objections, so a different plan was adopted. So as built in the late 1950s, Jackson Boulevard did have an exit ramp from the expressway on the left side for southbound traffic. But the entrance ramp for northbound traffic was placed in the center median. This meant a narrow footprint for the highway of only 263 feet, but it meant a dangerous merge on the left side for cars joining the highway from eastbound Route 66. If they had kept the normal configuration with an outside ramp on the right, it would have meant that this building on the east side of the expressway would have been demolished. Yet it survives today thanks to the narrow expressway. Today, the building is half of a residential condominium development known as Haberdasher Square Lofts. The name derives from the company that had its offices and manufacturing facility in the building for over 4 decades. The previous owner was the Chicago-based clothing firm Hart, Schaffner, and Marx. It was 1872 when brothers Harry and Max Hart opened a men's apparel store just after the Great Chicago Fire, and success was at least partially due to the urgent need for clothing in the fire's aftermath. Marcus Marx joined the partnership in 1879, and Joseph Schaffner arrived in 1887. The company's innovations included standard pricing, selling from swatches instead of from trunks full of samples, advertising in national men's apparel magazines, and the introduction of zippered pants in 1936. So when this building became available in 1949, they zipped on over to Route 66 to expand their factory. The company has been renamed Hart Marx, and its corporate offices are still located in Chicago. I first became aware of the Hart, Schaffner, and Marx building while researching this photo from the 1928 Chicago Daily News. The workers are in the midst of a project to widen Jackson Boulevard, which was already the alignment for Illinois State Highways 4 and 18, as well as U.S. Routes 66 and 32. The road capacity would be increased from 2 lanes to 4 to eliminate a traffic bottleneck. The building that would become Hart, Schaffner, and Marx in 1949 is in the middle on the right. The buildings just beyond would be demolished for the expressway construction. In 1928, the occupant of the building was a different manufacturer, a manufacturer of printing equipment, A.B. Dick. This firm was founded by Albert Blake Dick, who originally began a lumber company in 1883, but he received a license from the Edison Company to manufacture equipment for a process to create copies from stencils. It was A.B. Dick that coined the name mimeograph for the process that could turn typewritten or handwritten pages into reproducible documents. They were also early manufacturers, along with Xerox, of photocopy equipment. They continue to manufacture offset printing equipment as a brand of Mark Andy print products.
You know, on every block of Route 66 in downtown Chicago, there are buildings that are 10 to 100 stories tall. And also on every block, there are as many stories to be told.
See tall buildings, discover tall tales as well as true ones on every block of Route 66, Chicago. Thanks for spending the last few minutes with me today exploring a few of them. Stay well.